couple things. One, I know that winning the Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12 was important to you. It's named after Pat Tillman, a player that obviously played here. What do you know about Pat, and what do you think of some comparisons that people make to you with him? And then the other one would be, is it true that you might have inflicted some damage on the dresser when you dropped in the draft?
Well, first, to the first part of that question, I know Pat was a super fiery competitor, like a one-of-a-kind guy, always there for the team, always wanted to win, do everything that he could. And then he went and, served our country. And, I hate to, I would hate to be compared to that, because there's really no one compared to Pat. And, an all-around outstanding guy, citizen, and, a great part of the Cardinal community. And yes, I did inflict a little bit of damage into a dresser.
Hey, Evan, Colin Harmon here with ABC 15 Sports. Cliff said when he met you at the Combine that you came into the room ready to hit people, and that you wake up feeling that way and you go to sleep feeling that way. First of all, what was your initial, reaction to meeting the Cards? What do you recall from that sit down, and where does this intensity come from?
Yeah, when I first walked in there, I did the same in all my meetings. I wanted the coaches to know who they're going to get. And, I hate people who just generically answer the questions, and it's all pre-thought out, and that's not the player you're going to see day to day. So I'm gonna let them know who I was, and I'm a pretty fiery dude. I wanna compete with everything I do, and So, and what was the last part of the question? Sorry.
Okay. No, I was just asking where that intensity came from. Is that something you've had your entire life?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I've had my entire life. Whether it was first grade soccer, first grade tackle football, baseball, always somebody who's wanted to win in everything I did, and most of the time found a way. And if I couldn't, I'd figure out what I did wrong and figure it out for the next time. So it's just something that I've always had in me.
Evan, piggybacking on that intensity, what's it been like being quarantined, and what have you done to pass the time?
Quarantine has sucked, but we're all going through it together. There's a lot of worse things out there than staying home. But I've just been trying to work out, learn the playbook, and soak in as much knowledge as I can, so that when I come in training camp or whenever I report, I'm able to join in with the guys and be where they're at.
Okay, the next three questions: Josh Weinfuss, Catherine Fitzgerald, and Jess Root.
Hey, Evan, Josh Weinfuss with ESPN. I've seen you be described as essentially a football junkie. Where did that come from? How long have you been like that? And what is it about football that's kind of always had you hooked, if you will?
Yeah, I've loved football since I first put the pads on. And, since I first tackled someone, I think in first grade, it's just something that I've always loved doing. I've always wanted to figure out ways to get better. I'm always willing to learn from other people, other players, coaches, whatever I can soak up. I can, anything I can put into my game, I try. That comes through watching film and asking questions and learning from the people around me. And that's pretty much what being a football junkie is.
Hey, Evan, Catherine from the Republic. I know it's only been a few days so far, but what do you think it'll be like learning the playbook remotely? It's gonna be definitely a little bit different because there's no walkthroughs or anything like that. But you got to get it done. There's no excuses. It's a job now, and if you don't do that, somebody else will step in. So I'm putting my time in, and I'm trying to learn everything I can possibly figure out to get everything done.
Hey, Evan, Jess Root from cardswire.com. Have you had the chance to reach out and talk to any of the other teammates, your new teammates, in particular Dennis Gardeck, who kind of has a similar mentality to you? Have you met your match competitively on a team before? And how do you see the competitions between you and Dennis playing out on the field on special teams and other drills?
I haven't really had the chance to talk to him at all yet. I've talked to a couple of rookies, talked to a few people that I know in the league. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm really excited to show my competitiveness, and I mean, I'm willing to bring it every day. And so, I mean, that's just all you can really ask for.
Okay, the next three questions will go to Bob McManaman, Darren Urban, and Tressa Tedrick.
Hey, I'm Bob McManaman from the Republic. I'm curious. Some people will say tackling can be a lost art, even in the NFL. How did you come to master it? What goes into it, and what actually did you do to the dresser?
I mean, I think tackling just comes down to wanting to actually tackle the person. There's a lot of guys who are willing to say that they want to do it, but then you see missed tackles, you see people getting ran over, you see all this stuff. I mean, I think it goes back to a really young age when my mom would yell at me from the stands, wrap them up, and then if I missed a tackle or something, I'd have to do 50 push-ups before I could even get in a car after a game. So it being ingrained in me at a young age, and just being able to bring that to every level of football that I played.
I know, Evan, you were talking about your competitiveness and your want to play the sport all the way back to first grade. So this probably doesn't apply all the way back then. However, when you look at people that underestimate you, and it seems like it's happened a couple times, perhaps now it's happened now again with the draft, is this something that fuels you, or do you think you would be the exact same kind of mentality with or without that?
I mean, it feels me a little bit, but I mean, I'm more than just worried about what other people have to say. I mean, I'm worried about getting my job done and doing whatever I can to help the Cardinals win games. And so wherever that may be, special teams, playing time, it doesn't really matter. I'm just here to help everybody win games.
Hi, Evan. Tressa Tedrick, 3TV, CBS 5. A two-part question, kind of similar, but you mentioned that you had to do push-ups and stuff when you didn't tackle. Was there a certain reward that you got? My brother got Pokemon cards when he would score, so I'm curious if there was an incentive in that. What is something that would surprise people to learn about you?
Yeah, the only incentive was, I got a ride home and got food. So when I got home, but other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot. I mean, I feel like I'm an open book. I feel like everybody really knows who I am. You watch my interviews, that's who I am. I'm not really hiding anything from anybody.
Okay, the next three will go to Charlie LaPastora, Colin Harmon, and Josh Weinfuss.
Hey, Evan, welcome to Arizona, man. I know it's been a journey for you to get here. You had a successful seat last season in college and then getting drafted to the Cardinals. And, just with little time you've had, I know you mentioned looking over the playbook. What are you most looking forward to about joining this defense, maybe from what you've seen from afar or from what you've learned from the playbook so far? And then also maybe what you've heard about looking forward to living in the Valley, living in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've learned so far in the playbook, a lot of it's the same that we ran at Cal. A lot of the same scheme, same terminology. So it's been I wouldn't necessarily say easy to pick up, but it definitely probably gives me a little edge. I'm excited, just to get in the community, do what I can, and just immerse myself in the community and see what happens.
Evan, if I was looking at this, right, you offer 6 Pac-12 schools and then quite a few Provide schools. How did you go from, I guess, mildly recruited to the leading tackler in college football? Is it something you were more of a late bloomer, or have you just been overlooked kind of at every? I
mean, I wouldn't say I was a late bloomer, because I mean, in high school I was a state defensive player of the year and stuff, and I mean, I think 129 tackles as a D tackle my senior year. So, and then I mean, I think it was just something that I just found my fit at a inside linebacker, and just ran away with it. I mean, I had 159 the year before, and I'm built for the position. There's not a lot of people that, like I said before, that really want to make the plays, and I'm one of those dudes that wants to make every play I can and make every play on the field.
Hey, Evan. It seemed like all the scouting reports on you leading to the draft said what you lacked in athleticism, you made up in effort. How would you describe your athleticism, and what's your response when you hear people say that you're not quite that athletic?
4.4 40s don't win you Super Bowls. Guys who are willing to actually play win you Super Bowls. There's a lot of plenty. I mean, what is it? I think it's 33% of dudes if they last 4 years out of the first round is a success. I mean, that kind of just shows it yourself. So, I mean, I could get into a lot of stuff here, a lot of statistics. I mean, the top six offenses in the league last year were run heavy offenses. I mean, you're not going to win games having your 190-pound DB linebacker in there trying to tackle Derrick Henry. I mean, you tell me how that worked in the playoffs. I mean, it's just simple stuff like that. And, I think teams are going to start realizing it, and especially as the running backs get bigger and, you realize giving up 30 points and trying to score 40 isn't going to win you a lot of games. So I think that's why the Cardinals and they brought me in. It's just, bring a little bit of a different mojo to it.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up here with the final three questions. Catherine Fitzgerald, Bob McManaman, and Darren Urban.
A very important logistical question. As far as the Cardinals polo you're wearing right now, is the team mailing you a bunch of new gear? Did you have to go out and buy it? How is that happening?
Yeah, so they actually mailed me a polo and a couple hats and a couple shirts. So it's pretty nice, being able to be a part of the team and be representing the colors.
Hey, Evan, you almost had 200 tackles last year. Looking it up, only Kuechly ever had more. He did it twice. You were 13 away from being the all-time leading single-season tackler in NCAA history. How does that feel? and how many tackles did you miss? Could you have gotten 194?
I mean, it feels pretty good. I wasn't really chasing stats. I was chasing wins. We ended up winning 8 games, which probably could have won a couple more. But it's pretty cool, to be up there with Luke Kuechly. But now we got to translate it over in the NFL. So, I mean, I'm just waiting for my shot, and going to learn under the great linebackers that we have right now, Jordan Hicks, to mention one of them, and just learn as much as I can, and hopefully become an integral part of the team.
I want to quickly go back when you were talking about doing push-ups and missing tackles when you're younger and everything. Are you from a football family? Was it just something that because you were good at it, everybody kind of went all in on? How did that work out that it was kind of like that when you were younger?
Well, my parents have always been like really into sports and stuff. My mom was pretty athletic, played soccer. My dad was more of a track and field guy. So, I mean, not really a whole lot of football, but, just trying to push me in everything I did, no matter what sport. I mean, it was just like pitching in baseball. You get a walk, you throw a walk, you got to do something. It's just different sports, same type of stuff.